Welcome back, pilgrims. My name is Pella, and on this episode, we'll be discussing my experiences with Polynesian dancing, more specifically, Cook Island dancing. When I travel, I like to explore different experiences that are unique to the places that I'm visiting. So when I was living in Wellington, New Zealand, one of those experiences was being able to take a Cook Island dancing class. The Cook Islands is a self-governing nation in the Pacific that has a free association with New Zealand, meaning New Zealand will actually provide defense for the nation, as well as will handle their foreign affairs in consultation with the nation. And the Kiwi currency is actually used in the Cook Islands, and Cook Islanders have New Zealand citizenship, but not all Kiwis will be Cook Islanders. Politics. One day, I happened to be going home on the train, and a colleague of mine was on her way to a dance class that happened to be in my neighborhood. She invited me to come. I did, and I'm really glad that I the kind of dancing that I was practicing, I can't say that I was doing it because it's intense, but it's called, excuse my pronunciation, Ura Kukai Arani. I apologize. Prior to taking this class, when I thought of Polynesian dancing, I almost exclusively thought of hula dancing. And even though there are similarities, it's a different beast, it's a different pace, and it is not for the weak-kneed. I can promise you that. Being from South Florida, I'm not unaccustomed to hip-focused movements. And even though I have rhythm, I'm usually one to vibe, hit the two-step, maybe do a line dance. That's my strengths. That's where I reside. That's where I'm comfortable. I have rhythm, but I'm just not especially a dancer. This was a learning curve. Teaching is a forte of mine. So when you're throwing your hips in a circle, the circle is on the floor, which is like the Cook Island dancing style, versus it being on the wall, which is the Florida style. Yep, catch this dance. I was not ready. That was a whole different muscle group necessary to perform these movements, so it was a great workout. I ended up taking the class for about a month before my visa expired in New Zealand, and I had to leave for Australia. So I am by no means an expert on the subject. I have included the links to the pages of the instructor as well as the dance troupe that I was learning from, and those will be in the description. And I encourage anybody, if you get the chance to participate, do so, hang out. The girls that I did the class with were so wonderful. The drummers, the men who did the drums, they were spectacular as well. It was such a cool experience and probably one of my favorite things that I did in New Zealand. One of the really cool things about taking the class was there were actual Cook Island drummers in the room with us while we were taking the class, and they were men trained in the tradition of Cook Island drumming. And that was super cool. And the other cool experience was the instructor would sometimes play a dance mix if the drummers weren't there. Sometimes even when the drummers were, and a lot of the mixes were Latin American and reggaeton. So again, being from Florida, I was like, that's not this dance. So that was one of the moments where I wasn't sure if being from Florida helped or hurt me in this instance. But it was a really cool moment to be so far from home, learning something totally new, but still feeling that familiarity. So that was a really cool experience as well. 3 things I learned from taking this class. 1, though Polynesian cultures are very similar, they are all very distinct in their own ways. 2, my knees are weak. And 3, all butt movements are not the same. The first thing I learned while being there was the sarong that we were wearing was called a pareu. And then there are different types of garb as well. So for this class, we didn't have the full festive stuff. Most classes, even though she did allow us to wear it once. And even the placement of it, of the sarong, was supposed to be very low. And it was done in a way to accentuate the hip movements. It was so low. How low was it? Think plumber, and then just above plumber. Think low on your hips, and then go lower. Think 2002 Britney jeans, and you're probably about right. It was so low for me that it actually felt uncomfortable because I was like, I feel exposed. So I actually tied the pareu a little higher than what was suggested. And in watching the playback of it, I can really see the difference between when I had it tied very low versus when I had it tied where I wanted it. Listen to your instructors, guys. I mean, makes a huge difference, huge. Another really cool thing that I learned was the drummers are actually taught specific drums, and it's not just, oh, we're going to play this beat because this is what we feel like. Each beat has a significance and a meaning, the same way that the different movements tell a different story. So I think it was very cool to experience like how this culture expresses themselves, and it was a very cool experience for me. And my third takeaway is it's a great exercise. Like, I was working muscles. I was like, where did those come from? Why do my shoulders hurt? So it's a great engaging way to do a full body exercise because you really do engage yourself from head to toe, because posture is a huge part of it. Your shoulders, your arms, your core is really worked as well. So it's a very good exercise if you're looking for an engaging new way to get fit, especially with quarantine. Can't go to the gym. So this has been my experience with Cook Island dancing. It was very brief, but I am so grateful that I had it. And I definitely will be carrying that with me, and it's definitely something I'll revisit whenever I get the opportunity. If you have a chance to check out not just the Cook Island culture, but also any indigenous culture available to you, please do so. In this day and age where Western society is so prominent and globalization is real, I think that these cultures that have been able to preserve their legacy, their history, and their customs in this day and age, I feel like it's just so amazing to see, and it's very insightful. The full blog will be on pellathepilgrim.com, as well as some photos on my Instagram if you'd like to check out more. All right, pilgrims, that's it for now. Until next time. Oh yeah, before I forget, you should probably click like or subscribe, so in case I can't reach you the next time I do a video, YouTube will tell you that I have a new video, so you can chit chat, catch up again, you know, find out about this journey. And yeah. Okay, thanks. Happy journeys, pilgrim. Bye. Dame la gasolina, you better look, murder she wrote.